Hello and welcome into a special early morning edition, it feels like, of Smooth Operators as we have been transitioning uh, into these summer shows. This time we're going to be breaking down the Le Mans 24-hour endurance race that happens in France every year and breaking down the upcoming Canada race, as Griggs told me to do before the podcast started, with Sing O Canada, but I am obviously unable to do that because we would get a copyright strike, not because I'm afraid to shatter these good people's screens on YouTube. Griggs, how are you doing today as we wait for Ben to unfreeze himself?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Today's a good day. Thank you all for being able to do the show early. Glad it's not gonna be a really long show, but just got to get enough in there because we didn't have a race this past weekend. But we can preview Canada as well as talk about some about Le Mans. But our main probably Le Mans correspondent is currently MIA with
I'm
his.
here.
Why? Okay, there's Ben. Yes,
There you
hello
go.
Ben,
There you
My
go.
network crashed.
and he's gone again. Okay, no, he's back.
It's like,
All
I'm
right.
here.
no, you're not. You're here and then you're gone.
Okay. Well, hello everybody. I'm alive. Just dealing with some network issues, some technical bugs. Um, yeah, just a personal welcome from me if they didn't extend that already. Um, Happy to be here.
Are you though, Ben?
So what are you talking about,
Are you
boys?
are you happy
Because
to
I
be
have
here?
no idea. Huh?
Are you happy to be here? It doesn't sound like it. You don't have that
I'm elated.
happiness in your voice, Ben, like you usually do. Because I think he has died again.
All right, Le Mans. No, how would you get us started?
All right. Well, the first thing I want to bring up is uh, how they do their qualifying. It obviously happened a little bit while ago. Obviously, if you didn't know, Le Mans is a lot different from the Formula One and NASCAR we usually talk about on here. Le Mans is a endurance series that has four different types of cars on it, from GMT rookies to the big time cars that are specifically built for endurance. And how they do their qualifying is actually very interesting to me, as they have two sessions. The first session is an hour long, and you're trying to get into the top six of your class of car. And then those six all run a lap or two, I believe. I can't remember how much longer it is, but it's called Hyperpole, and it's just those six that get decided in that last qualifying session. So a little bit different than the Formula One way of doing it now, with the three qualifying sessions going down, the final 10 being decided. There it is, your final six in each class of cars. So you have a total of 16.
Top eight. No,
What? No, it's top
it's top
six.
eight.
It's top six.
No, it's top eight. It's
You're
top eight.
lying. You're lying.
No, I'm not. There's 12 entries right now in the hypercar class, with I believe 8 in the hyper qualifying.
Second session almost 24 hours later on Thursday evening is Hyperpole. Most of the grid will be set come by the end of qualifying, with only the class pole sitters and the top six remaining to be decided.
Yeah, the class pole sitters 1 and 2. So the top 2 in class, and then the remaining
Well,
6 cars, so 8 cars total.
well, okay. Thank you, Ben. Thank you. You've made me sound.
They were not very clear on that. Was that from the 24-hour de Le Mans website?
Yes, that's what I was originally working out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They weren't very clear on that. The WEC website had a much better um and the Top Gear website had a much better piece of info for that.
I did want to get
Yeah,
y'all's
so,
opinion though on that. Do y'all think that is a better way to do it than the way Formula One does it now, where you're settling your top 10 at the end of the first session?
that's a good question. It's kind of similar, but it's also very, very different. Knockout qualifying in F1 has been largely successful, and I mean it's such a large field. You kind of have to do something like that, where you narrow it down, I suppose.
Despite the fact that it is one of the longest tracks in the world. Is it second on the endurance schedule to Nuremberg, right? In terms of length.
Yes, the Nürburgring is longer, but by about 3 minutes per lap. So yeah, it's definitely a good bit longer. The Mulsanne Straight, most famous part of that track, is where most of these cars will be hitting their top speeds, if not all of them, unless they have some kind of technical issue. Uh, what else? What else? You got the chicane now that they have in the middle of the Mulsanne Straight to slow the cars down, but they'll still hit their top speed. Um, turns 1 and 2, very exciting as well. Some sweeping corners from 2 to 3 to 4, and you have to get your exit right on 4 in order to be shooting down the straight up to 230, 240 miles an hour. This is all from memory, so let me pull up the track.
You're really smart. I also can't add much commentary to this because I don't really watch Le Mans. All I know is I'm cheering for 48. Let's go, Jimmy.
In the stock car.
Yeah. In the
Rick?
slightly modified 400 pounds lighter NASCAR.
No, it has been. The thing I've been seeing on like TikTok or something like that was like the American audio, like the raw and then the eagle screeching. It's like their car is like pretty fast in that category of what they're racing against.
Who, the Garage 56
Yes.
or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, they are quick.
Go Chevy. Go America. USA.
Go America. Yeah, so let's see, the Indianapolis S's, very famous part of that track as well. That's after the 90-degree bend at Mulsanne. Let's see what else. Yeah, turn 1 is pretty mellow. Turn 2 is kind of a left to right kink, and then you have turn 3, and I guess turn 4 is that slight little bend, but today's cars will be able to hit that flat out. But yeah, turn 3, emphasis on exit there as I run through the track. Gotta get the chicane right in the middle of the straight, and then yeah, the Virage de Mulsanne turn, the golf curve on the second straight right out of the Virage de Mulsanne, which is typically a third or fourth gear corner. Then you have your Indianapolis S's, Arnage, Buisson, then the Porsche curves, the DuPont curve, the curling S's, which is not really an S, it's more of a just long sweeping right-hander, into Maison Blanc, and then you are up into the Ford chicane, and then you're out onto the straight, and then you have to do that for 24 hours.
And
Pretty exciting stuff.
And hope your car
It's a
doesn't.
challenging track. But it's very exciting. I'm looking forward to it. I'm probably going to tune into the first 2 hours and the last hour and a half.
Real ones watch all 24 hours, Ben.
Huh?
Real ones watch all 24 hours.
Yeah, I don't have the patience for that. There's too many safety cars typically.
You don't know wheel, then. You don't know wheel.
Will. You don't know Will, Ben. You got to stay up
All right.
all 24
I got a
Well, I'd
cool
love
thing.
to love to hear your in-depth analysis of hour 13 when it's 2 in the morning our time. And
Yeah,
you've been
I remember
watching it.
I remember
You've been
I saw
watching it since
TikTok.
1.
I saw TikTok of them like during like the middle of the night hours. One of the announcers like talking about like the adrenaline you have, and then they compare it to something I really can't say on air. But yes, that's where they got to that hour. All right, moving
Well,
on from Le Mans.
Hang on. I got one more thing to say. Obviously, there's a reason that No Phillips brought this up. All right, and the reason is, you know who's going to be sitting on pole for Le Mans?
Antonio Giovinazzi.
Exactly, and you know what kind of
In the
car he drives?
Ferrari.
In the Ferrari, my friends.
Yeah, you'll have slightly less pain until Ferrari has reliability issues and Toyota wins their like 4th or 5th Le Mans victory. So
Hey,
brace yourself.
hey Ben, fact or fiction? Le Mans wins do not translate to Formula One. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
That is a
Actually,
fact.
actually,
Fact
you get license
Fact or
points.
fiction? Ferrari's pole to win ratio is now more in favor of poles than wins.
Okay, you may be right, but sitting
Michael Schumacher would be spinning in his grave at that Noah.
man, pole sitting in LMP2 is Paul Chatton for IDEC Sport, and then the man sitting on pole for LMGT AM is Ben Keating for Corvette Racing.
Corvette, USA.
USA. That don't mean nothing. They're gonna lose to some Italians.
Hey, they're
Wow,
not.
you're club over country? Wow. Wow. Club over
The Corvette
country.
is obligated to let them through because it's in a lower class. But
As a man who has driven
I-
a Corvette before and had it like break down on him numerous times, I cannot
Who?
find it. Me.
you've driven a Corvette?
I have. My father used to have a 1989 Corvette, I think it was.
That's cool.
It was 1 year before the Stingray, and it broke down on us more times than I can count. So I can't find
Fair
it in
count.
my heart of hearts to root for Corvette.
All right.
Wow.
And that was Talking French on Smooth Operators today. Shout out France, our number 2 most listened to country now. Bonjour, that's all I know.
I don't
Mbappe,
think you said that right. I think you said bonjour.
bonjour.
Love
Mbappe. You mean that guy
Mbappe.
Messi didn't want to? You mean that guy Messi doesn't want to play with?
No, Messi's
That's-
coming to America because
USA, baby.
US
Because he knows.
superiority. I'm feeling obnoxiously patriotic today. Let me just
No,
say.
like, I tried to look at tickets for when Inter Miami play here in Charlotte. $150 to get in, like, upper deck, for an MLS game. And his first match in Miami, I think they were up to like $10,000. So it's crazy. It's gonna have the Taylor Swift effect that it had on Ticketmaster.
Messi is now more expensive than Super Bowl tickets.
No.
Fact.
Wait,
Yes.
what?
Yes.
I thought
Yes.
Super Bowl tickets
Yeah,
like $1,000 to sit the cheap seats.
It's $1,000 to get in at the Miami for his first home game,
Oh.
Yeah.
and they're in
Oh.
last place in the MLS. They're the last place in the Eastern Conference.
They're the worst team in their conference, and
And
that
now they're
doesn't say something. I don't know what will.
Yes. All right, moving on. I had a little something before we got to our Canadian Grand Prix talk. I saw a tweet today
yeah.
on the SMOP Twitter. If you don't follow us, you can follow us at SMOP, at SMOP Podcast. From Dr. Fangio. Some F1 drivers / principals as cars from the movie Cars. A thread. I want to see you guys'
Ooh.
opinions. I'm going to read through some of these to see what you guys think. All right. For Charles Leclerc, he gives it to Lightning McQueen. I don't know why. I don't know how. Lightning McQueen is red. Charles Leclerc drives a red car. That's about all I can get.
I think so. Yes.
Now, this is interesting. He has Lewis Hamilton as 2 different cars. He has them as Ramon and the King, the blue 43 Dynaco car. I don't know why he has him as...
Lewis Hamilton because he played himself in the movie.
Well, that'd be no fun. Fernando Alonso is for some reason Chick Hicks. I don't get that. It's probably made by a Lewis Hamilton fan, this whole thing.
It's because he's green. It's because he's green.
Logan Sargent is Patriotic Mater from Mater's Tall Tales. Or
Okay.
Evil Knievel Mater for when he tries to jump the cavern. Next up is Carlos Sainz as
Griggs.
Oh no.
Oh no.
All right, so Mattia Bonanno is Uncle Topolino from Cars 2.
What?
We lost him. He's back.
Who, me?
Yeah, you were gone,
Yeah.
mate.
Fred Vasseur. No, who would you say Fred Vasseur is?
The truck that was in the army.
Sarge?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sarge. That's who I'm gonna go with.
I like it. Griggs would probably disagree. But since he's not here to speak for himself, I'm going
That
to
means he
disagree with
agrees.
Griggs.
That means he agrees
Yeah,
with me.
he agrees. He agrees. You're right.
He knows I'm right.
He knows. Yeah, so while Griggs continues reading tweets to his screen, not knowing that we're frozen, how have you been, Noah?
I've been doing good, but I will try to find this tweet that he said. It says Doctor who? Dr.
I think
Fauci?
Dr. Fangio.
Fangio. I don't know.
So he is an
right.
F1 fan. That's for sure. Griggs, you look so smug over there.
I know he's like staring into the camera.
Why is he looking into my soul?
I know. I misspelled cars.
Welcome in, everybody, to a more conversational episode of Smooth Operators. We've lost our only structure in this show, Griggs, and we're now going completely off the rails. I love it. I love it.
I think he's
starting. Oh, he's
to
like
rejoin.
disconnected. Is he coming back?
Yeah, he's coming
Hello.
back.
Sorry. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Looks like the
All right.
gremlins have gotten to our server, guys.
My bad.
Bro,
Yeah.
did your
Okay,
brother
so the
pull
next
the
one.
Wi-Fi cord?
He probably did. Okay, so Carlos Sainz is the mater that does like the cape thing. What's that called in Spain?
The Matador?
Yes, he's a matador mater. Next up we
Are
have
these all just
Sebastian.
going to be characterizations of them based on their nationality of Mater?
No, that would be cool though. We could do that sometime though. Sebastian Vettel
Mater
is the
could be
German
every
car
single
from
time.
Cars 2, and then Fillmore. That's kind of funny,
The
actually.
villain?
No, the German car from Cars 2, like from the world like racing thing.
Oh, okay.
That is the villain.
No, that wasn't him. No, never mind. And
Oh.
then
Twist,
Fillmore.
the twist
And then
villain.
yeah, and then Fillmore, which is kind of funny.
The German car from Cars 2 that raced was Sebastian Vettel.
This was not Sebastian Vettel in Cars 2.
No, but Sebastian Vettel did make a cameo.
In Cars 3, he did.
No, in Cars 2.
Max Verstappen is Jackson Storm from Cars 3. That's kind of funny. It's definitely written by a Hamilton fan.
Yeah.
Mick Schumacher is Michael Schumacher's car that he voiced in Cars 1 in the English version, so that's kind of funny. Christian Horner is Doc Hudson. Lando Norris, the car that Lewis Hamilton voices in Cars 2, which is kind of funny as well.
Because it's Lewis Hamilton.
No, Lando Norris is the person that does that.
Yeah, I know, but the car that Lewis Hamilton voiced was literally Lewis Hamilton in the thing.
Yuki Tsunoda's the Japanese like hypercar from Cars 2.
Solid.
Right. And then the final one is George Russell is
The false electric powered Land Rover.
Finn McMissile from Cars 2.
No.
And that is F1.
No.
Finn
No, I don't see it
has a mustache. That does not.
George Russell is George Russell is the actual villain, like the surprise villain in Cars 2. The one that was like pretending to be electric but actually was a gas guzzler. That's George Russell.
No, George Russell is the plane.
He's gassing from all his lattes.
George Russell's the plane.
Yeah, the plane from that like spin-off movie about the planes. That's what he is.
He is the plane from Planes.
Yeah, he's the plane from Planes. Anybody watch that
You know
movie?
the guy from Planes. You know.
Nobody watched that
I know
movie,
that.
man.
I love
I watched
planes.
it. I don't even know the plane's name. I think his name was Plane.
It was something
Plane.
weird. I don't know. All right, let's get back to Formula One real talk now. It's the Canadian
Please.
Grand Prix. So Canada 2023, the wildfire will not affect this race. They're going to race starting with first practice sessions tomorrow. So at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve.
Gilles Villeneuve.
Oopsies.
There you go.
Is a
Even though
4.361 kilometer per lap track, 70 laps, opened in 1978, or first Grand Prix was held in 1978, with a race distance of 305.27 kilometers and a lap record of 113.078 held by Valtteri Bottas in the Mercedes back in 2019. 14 corners, 3 DRS zones with 2 detection zones, and yeah, Canada.
It's my favorite street circuit.
Because it's like an actual like track that's like a street circuit.
It's a real track and it's a real street circuit.
Yeah.
Because it's on streets. And I'm not discounting Monaco because it's also up there as one of my favorites, but this is like genuinely on public roads, um,
That are
with
good for
with
real car
temporary
F1 cars.
curbing. Yeah, high risk concrete walls, um, iconic corners like the what's it called, the Wall of Champions. Um, it's just a cool track. It's just so cool and it's pretty. There's a lot of green, a lot of grass. For those of you who don't touch it, you can at least watch it. Um, it's just a fun watch. I love the track. I'm really excited for the race.
If you love it
Got
so
some
much, then why don't you marry it, Ben? Uh,
Speechless.
uh,
This is definitely an interesting track last year. We saw where Sergio Perez really had one of his worst weekends of the season last year here. Out early in the race, and it looked like was walking through the jungle, I think, after a qualifying picture. So, not great memories of here. Now it might be more common that we see this, though. Fernando Alonso was on second on the grid last year after qualifying P2 behind Max Verstappen, which last year was a shock. Now it's kind of more of an, okay, I can see that happening. So, that's an interesting one there. It's an interesting track with a lot of just hairpin turns really at the both ends at turn 10 and at turn 2 for almost a whole hairpin.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those tracks that emphasizes braking zones, which leads to real overtaking, kind of unlike what we saw at the last race, which was just passes and DRS. Um, but that said, I think there will still be a lot of DRS overtakes given that there's 3 zones, probably 2 for closing and 1 for really overtaking. Um, yeah, special corners to you, Griggs.
I also think
Like, what
another.
are they?
Oh, what did you say?
I said, what are some special corners to you? Like, what do you see?
I don't know. It's just a weird like track. Like it doesn't have like just a lot of just like long straights. They're just like straight. It's like got some curvature to it and stuff like that. I mean, coming out from the section from turn 3 to turn 7, just is like it looks like an M, just the way it just quick turns and just sprints right around there. And then that quick, basically 180 from turn 1 to turn 3 that
Mm-hmm.
happens there. That's what really stands out to me. And then the one little turn right before you hit the one little break in the DRS zone at turn 13 where the DRS zone goes from after turn 11 to almost turn 1 where there's just like a little curve down there to the finish line to just break up the DRS zone really. So technically there's only 2 DRS zones, but really there's 3.
Good stuff. Noah, what were you gonna say?
I was going to say one of the most interesting parts to me is the pit exit because it kind of comes out, if my memory serves me correctly, right there on to 2 because
Mm-hmm.
it comes out right in the middle of that. And obviously, these are high class drivers, or they wouldn't be where they are, but that's still a very sketchy situation to be turning there in one and have somebody come out of the pits. They're practically on the left side of you, even when they weren't coming down the straight with you.
For sure. For sure. And it's one of the few that actually opens up to the inside of a corner in an advantageous-ish position for the driver coming out. Typically, for safety reasons, they exit while they're on the straight in front of the braking zone, like at Barcelona. You really won't see action coming out at Barcelona, but here, on the other hand, you could see a battle from a driver leaving the pits trying to get ahead, or a driver, coming down the straight trying to get ahead of the driver leaving the pits if they're on a push or something like that. So that would be something to look out for, definitely.
And 2 to 3 is kind of short enough to where if you get out in front of him, you can hold that lead into 3, into 4, and then really he won't have another opportunity till 10, turn 10, or turn 13, 14, or until you
Yeah.
complete the lap again. If you can get out in front of him, you at least got 3/4 pretty much locked up to yourself.
And then at that time, you'll have heat in your tires so you can defend for another few laps
Mm-hmm.
or even get on the offensive. Very, very good inside there. Um, yeah, good stuff.
All right, should we do some predictions?
I think so. I'm
Let's do
looking
some
at this
predictions.
Ferrari, wondering wondering how it's going to go for them.
All right, let's start off as we normally do with pole position. Let's start with Ben. Ben, who do you think will be taking pole on Saturday in Montreal?
You know who? At this
Logan
point,
Sargent, your favorite, your
yeah,
go-to.
the fastest driver to finish last of every running car, Logan Sargent, will start on pole. No, but seriously, all jokes aside, I think Max Verstappen's going to have little difficulty taking pole here, just given his dominance throughout the season.
I got to be honest with you, Ben. I think you're wrong. I think it's going to be his teammate. The teammate that is the king of street circuits, as they tell me. Give me Perez. Or Checo.
Buy the hype.
Or
Buy the hype.
say it. Buy the hype. I am a Sergio Perez pill.
You know what? It's time. Here's an idea. All right. LH44. I think it's time. It's time. He's been without a pole for so long. It's so overdue. And that car looks actually legitimately good if they have a good qualifying session. I think if there's a hiccup anywhere between Max or that, I think they can take pole position. If it's not a Red Bull, it's going to be a Mercedes, I think.
They're going to need weather to go their way if they want to get pole. They're going to need weather to go their way. But I could see that.
All right, prediction, just random prediction, not finishing position or not a crazy one, but let's just get a normal prediction. Ben, what do you got?
Normal prediction for next week. Oh, what could it be? I'm gonna say that we have 3 cars who don't finish.
Do we have any cars not finished last week?
No. Completely clean.
They all finished?
Everybody finished. I
Everyone
think
finished,
it's the second time of the year, right?
Yes,
Yes.
as my prediction said, at least one.
Wait. Yeah, everyone finished. Monaco was not the case. Miami, we had everyone finish. Azerbaijan had 2 DNFs. Okay, anyways.
Well,
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys, I'm looking at the weather report right now. I know one of you just brought it up. We have clear skies. Or excuse me, no, there is clouds in the sky, but there will not be any rain in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, according to the weather app.
For the next week?
It starts on Monday. They have a 90% chance on Monday. Oh, no, you said
Well,
heat. I thought you said chance in the week.
No, for the next week. Next week. Like
for the next
for
week.
Sunday. Because Friday
there is
like
chance
rain.
of rain for 40% on Friday, but then Saturday and Sunday it's not going to rain. They have a high of 71 on Saturday and a high of 74 on Sunday.
What lovely weather.
That is very lovely. That's lovely for a race day. Too lovely.
Oh yeah.
As a matter of fact, I want you to take no yellow flags this weekend. That's going to be my prediction. It's too lovely for something bad to happen.
The whole weekend. Wow.
Not the
No
weekend.
yellow flags at all?
I meant on Sunday. Ben. Stop putting words in my mouth.
Oh. I don't think we put words in your mouth. You said no yellow flags this weekend. That was
you
very
really need to
misleading.
quit lying. That is libel. I can sue.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna have a red flag during qualifying.
All right.
They're pretty lenient on when they get red flags in qualifying, so I think that's a chance. All right, Ben. Random crazy prediction.
Random crazy prediction. Tough. That's tough. I gotta think. Well, you know what? Let's do it. Let's have fun. Taylor Swift is newly single.
We're not
Swift's album.
we're not doing this
You
again.
can't take my gimmick from me, Ben.
Fine. I'll take another gimmick then. Let's see. Justin Bieber's Canadian. He'll be there.
Hmm. All right.
And can I make one race related?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Crazy prediction. We'll see no tire failures, but one puncture
Hmm.
on Sunday. We'll see a puncture on Sunday. Don't hold me to that. That's not gonna. It's not gonna.
Oh, we're holding you
But,
to it. It's your prediction.
That's it, man. If you're wrong, we're gonna kick you off the show. That's it.
all right. That's fine. That's fine. I'll take that.
You wanna know
It'll
my
free me up.
crazy? You wanna know my crazy prediction, guys?
What is your crazy prediction, Noah?
In Montreal, Quebec, Canada, on November 9th, 1997, Shawn Michaels got Bret Hart in a sharpshooter. Vince McMahon came down to the ring and rang the bell. In an event known as the Montreal Incident, infamous in the WWF, kick-started the Vince McMahon character, one of the greatest heels of our generation. And next Sunday, at the Canadian Grand Prix, the FIA will give an invalid winner a victory. Somehow, some way, they are going to cheat for the winner to win, and it's going to bleed into my winner prediction. So when we get to that, I will complete this.
It's gonna be Lance. Watch Lance Stroll be the winner.
It's his home race, brother. His home race.
Um.
Ben, you look very confused.
I'm just shocked. That's pretty crazy.
You should listen to the WWE GL podcast we did last night. It got crazy as well. Available on streaming platforms.
This isn't wrestling. This is F1.
Give me.
So, the FIA are kind of like Vince McMahon at times, brother.
Give me at least 2 cars out by turn 1.
Ooh. Lap one,
look at
turn
that.
one.
Lap 1, turn 1. Because look at that turn. It just goes so quickly to a left. It's one of the few left-handers to start an F1 track. I feel like there's a couple that are left-handers to start. Am I not correcting?
I mean,
I know.
you're right.
I know Coda's a left-hand start. I know that Azerbaijan's a left-hand start. I know a few are, but like the way that
But
just
the
goes.
driver, yeah, the driver starts on the left side too if you're in pole.
Yeah, I know that, Stu, but still, I don't think it'll be the pole who gets a crash. I think it'll be someone further down the pack. But yeah, I think 2 drivers are out there because the way that you just have to turn, it's a quick turn to the left and then a hairpin around back towards turn 3.
So you really got to go for it on turn 1 if you want a chance.
Mm-hmm. All right, it is time for our podium predictions. We're going to start off with Ben. Give us your top 3 for this next weekend's upcoming Canadian Grand Prix.
Okay. Top 3. I think Verstappen wins by 18 seconds.
We're holding you to that. So I mean, 18 seconds.
Number 2. Give me Lewis Hamilton, and number 3, give me Fernando Alonso. 3 champions on the podium.
Next up is me.
Yeah, that's how it usually goes.
Well, folks, I don't know if you knew this, but the one and only Fernando Alonso said in an interview, maybe it was post-race, that Spain was the last time he was not going to be on a podium. So he is my P3. My P2 is Max Verstappen. And winning because of an incident from the FIA, Lewis Hamilton. That's my prediction.
FIA favoring Mercedes. Come on now, Noah. We're not going. This isn't the crazy predictions.
They never changed an entire set of regulations just for Mercedes to dominate for 4 years in a row. No, don't say that.
It's redemption for Abu Dhabi 2021.
Wow.
We're still talking about that.
Can we not?
Aren't you proud of
right,
me though?
here we go.
I didn't do Ferrari. You guys should be proud. I've come to terms
That-
with it. I will not accept it because we will win Le Mans, but there you go.
All right,
Okay.
ready? Here we go. Leclerc P3. Hamilton P3 Verstappen P1.
All right.
So it's pretty normal. Like I thought. I think Lewis Hamilton would give up the pole position, but I just that Max car, like Max, something's gonna have to happen for someone to beat Max. Like it's not gonna be a driver error. It's gonna be some. It's gonna have to Carlos Sainz engine in Austria for someone else to win right now.
We're coming up on the race anniversary of that. I'm very excited for Austria.
As I am, but that is going to do it for this episode of Smooth Operation. I want to thank everyone for tuning in on this on this Friday instead of a Sunday. We'll be back next week Sunday. Not this coming Sunday, but next Sunday after that. So until then, if you missed any of today's show, you can check it out on your favorite podcast platform wherever you get yours. Follow us on the Twitter at SMOP Podcast. But until next time, for Ben McClurkin, Noah Phillips, I'm Greg Blakenberg. This has been Smooth Operators on Weagle 91.1 FM. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have a great rest of your day, and War Eagle.